His targets in this issue? Deadpool, Omega Red, and Colossus. Wolverine's relentless pursuit of revenge drives him across the Strait of Gibraltar, seeking those he once called friends, now transformed into foes, with death as his weapon. Logan arrives at the site of nuclear reactors, only to find them blazing with an ominous, unnatural brightness and seemingly left without any defenses. His heightened senses pick up Omega Red's presence, emerging from the snow and ready to clash. Before we continue, don't forget to recommend my video on social media and click the subscribe button to stay updated on more comic book content like this, which helps support small content creators like me. Omega sneers, remarking how winter has brought the dead to life once more. In a swift move, he pierces Logan's chest and shoulder with his carbonadium tendrils, explaining that the searing pain Logan feels is a plague Omega left as a final gift for him. Logan retaliates by severing the tendrils and using them as a weapon against Omega Red. As Logan chokes Omega with his own coils, he challenges him to unleash every infection he possesses, confident that his thirst for revenge will allow him to endure it all. Gradually, Omega's life is squeezed from him by Wolverine until he breathes his last. With a dark sense of humor, Logan hangs Omega's lifeless body up in a tree as a warning for anyone daring to approach the unstable nuclear reactors. After leaving Omega Red's permanent resting place, he heads toward the reactors, his sights set on Deadpool. We catch a glimpse of Wade, poised on top of one of the reactors. He watches in anticipation as Logan approaches. Wade greets him with a smirk, saying, "What? No flowers?" Wade reveals that the reactors have been leaking radiation weekly, with fallout raining down every 20 minutes. Wolverine demands to know why Wade's even sticking around with the reactors in such dire shape. Wade opens up about the guilt weighing on him for the deaths of Captain America and Winter Soldier. He admits that he's usually good at repressing guilt, but this time, the burden is too much. He mutters to himself, psyching himself up for a dramatic plunge into oblivion inside the nuclear reactor. He then turns to Logan, saying they'll meet on the other side, and apologizes for blowing up his friends. Just as Deadpool begins his descent, Logan catches him mid-fall and pulls him back from the brink of death. Logan tells Wade that ending his life isn't a solution for his guilt. He reveals that he's already killed Mastermind, Sabretooth, and Omega Red, and hints to Wade who's next. Wade, misinterpreting, assumes Logan wants to team up and take down Colossus. Logan then questions whether Wade truly believes someone with their history can be forgiven, to which Wade, with conviction, says he does. Wade begins to have hope that all is forgiven, and his future has a purpose. In a sudden twist, Logan shoves Deadpool off the top of the reactor, sending him plummeting into the flames to meet a terrifying end, with horror flooding Wade's face. Logan knew Wade well enough to realize that leaving him with false hope was the ultimate revenge he sought. This may very well have been Wolverine's coldest, most calculated kill ever. A week later, we see Logan digging a grave outside a house, one we can assume belongs to Colossus. As much as Logan yearns for a confrontation, Pete insists he doesn't want things to end this way. Seeing Logan's determination, Pete reluctantly begins to transform, bracing himself for the impending fight. Without hesitation, Colossus seizes Wolverine by the head and effortlessly flings him into a tree. Colossus then leaps to Wolverine's position, barely missing him with a forceful strike. Wolverine demands to know why Pete was involved in the deaths of Captain America and Winter Soldier, admitting he once saw him as the best of them all. Severely wounded from Wolverine's slashes, Colossus replies that he did what he had to for his family. Just as Logan prepares to finish him off, Colossus grabs Wolverine's hand, then his throat, lifting him high into the air. In one brutal motion, Colossus viciously rips Wolverine's arm off and tosses it to the ground. Pete apologizes that it had to end this way, and Logan sarcastically agrees. In a final strike, Logan drives his claws up through Colossus's jaw, forcefully pushing it up into his skull. He then reattaches his own arm as his healing factor starts to work. He buries Pete and moves forward, with the conclusion to come in Wolverine Revenge Issue 4,